Hello, everyone. So today it's an opportunity to record this session about foundation year, level 3, TLA training. This is meant for all lectures, but mainly this time we'll keep it simple and straightforward for our new lectures or associate lectures. Please add this to your CPD tracker. Uh, or induction CPD tracker. So I'd like, first of all, to introduce this session. So this session is dedicated from the Center for Academic Practice Development in the Elizabeth School of London. So this center has been created or founded by myself, Dr. Elena Carruba, and Professor Ian Luke. We have permanent members who are contributing with different sessions, and we have within the center a scheme of work we call it Empower Me, which has for the moment 3 paths to professional development. So this part today is for the CPD plan for new and associate lecturers, and it's mainly focusing on level 3. So why level 3? It's a good question. Level 3 is very interesting to our performance because sorry for this, because we have noticed a need to cover this level and work on it. And this level is sometimes described by practitioners as the most difficult level. It's still further education, but also meant to cover or pave the way for higher education, level 4. So foundation year has many aspects to prepare for the degree or higher education certificate, etc. That a student, after a gap of some years, they want to carry on their studies, or they want to go back to their studies or after starting their careers. In Elizabeth School of London, we have adult learners, of course, and they are they can be younger in their 20s, like they can be more mature students who want to improve their lives and change their lives, acquiring a certificate or a degree. So this need comes from what we observed in some lessons of foundation years, and in general to improve the understanding of this level. So many things are going to be discussed here. I will move on. So the Center for Academic Practice Development is part of ESL and is working on developing skills, mainly in teaching and learning. So this is brief introduction because we have to focus on our topic today. So the first question is, yeah, so the training objectives is to understand also OFS and higher education regulations, and this is going to happen when we have interaction, so we have a group together. So if this session is practiced by a group, presented in an interactive session, I really would like to cover this section of OFS and higher education regulations regarding assessment and feedback for foundation year. It's very important to understand this year from a regulatory point of view, and also to understand it in practice as a skill. So develop skills in providing constructive feedback should be also part of an interactive session. Apply learning to enhance teaching practice and student learning outcomes. So all these objectives are meant to be in a workshop when we have a group of people, no one group, but groups of academics working together. By the way, I have delivered this session in what we called here Easter CPD tour. It was during Easter break, and it was easier to book some time with the lecturers because there was no teaching during that break. So moving on. So I'm going to skip the parts when we have some interaction, but sometimes I am going to stop and ask questions just to help you reflect by yourselves or together if you are in a group, and have also to think about it. So I'm skipping all the OFS part, but please conduct your research and see what OFS is saying about foundation year and in general higher education in the UK. It's very important to start from that part. Of course, in ESL, we have our regulations, and quality team has been working hard in producing all our documents. They are set, but I'm not going to cover them in this session because normally I cover them separately in my tours. So understanding foundation year or level 3 students, I'd like you to think about this question. Based on your experiences, what are the characteristics of foundation years or level 3 students? So I give you a few minutes to think, or please stop this video and conduct your research or have a discussion together, and then come back. Thank you. So there is a website here to look at and see the how to say demographics of foundation years and the different people we can have, the different percentages. So please visit this website and see the differences of levels and demographics in the UK. I give you some time to stop the video, go there, discuss the document, and then come back to carry on. So what we are going to to discuss today as a first point is foundation year or level 3 students. They are called in these two ways, typically exhibit a range of characteristics. So we have these characteristics, but they are not stable. They can be different from one area to the other. What we have noticed is, first of all, academically speaking, we're interested in the academic background. We have a diverse academic background. What does it mean? It means that the students at level 3 often come from the diverse academic backgrounds, including those who may have taken alternative pathways to higher education. They started a degree, then they stopped, or stopped for had a gap in their education. This gap really varies a lot, which makes it different to tackle higher education again. So we have mature students, career changes. So we have people who have studied in the UK before, others who never studied in the UK. Some students come with without any career at all. They didn't start working at all. Some are advanced in their careers, even managers, and they just need to have a higher education certificate. So what does this mean academically? This means that we have to address issues of differentiation in a classroom. This year is meant actually to bring together and create a homogeneous, more or less, level. Of course, we cannot change the levels, linguistic levels, proficiency in English to become all equal, but we can prepare with technical terms, with writing skills, speaking skills, and academic skills mainly that pave the way for a degree or a certificate at higher education, easily knowing how to use IT and how to write, etc., etc. So that the year we're talking about is really crucial in bringing people together in a preparation for year level 4. So varying levels of academic preparedness, and this means that at this level, students may have different preparedness. So subject knowledge, sometimes they come very prepared with the subject knowledge. They know many things. They have studied these skills or practiced these skills, and they come to join us for their degree. This preparedness makes it also important to understand what to do with the students in terms of foundational knowledge, develop essential academic skills, and how to bring them together, how to tailor the activities to meet all their needs, different needs in one classroom situation. Transition challenges. So these students, including some adjusting to the academic expectations, learning environment, assessment methods. So some of the students have never used a VLE. Very few students confess they have never used a Word document, for example, or created a PowerPoint. And this transition to how to study at a UK higher education can be challenging for the students. So they require a lot of simplification, breaking down of the information and knowledge and showing it in a very simple way. So simplifying, being straightforward, very, very clear. So we'll see some of these techniques next. So need is increased at this level. We need more support, the maximum of support. This is why ESL is dedicating office hours. So the core lectures means the core module lectures give support to the students to help them understand the core modules, ask questions, and this is dedicated time per week. The students can book in a slot of the 2 to 3 hours of support, or can meet online, can simply send an email, and we provide this support, which goes hand in hand with student support, student success support. This team is focusing on all aspects that are not directly involved in, I mean, they are involved in the modules, but sometimes they have more difficulties. Students can have more difficulties in understanding how to write an introduction, how to write a report. They miss a session and they find themselves, for example, unable to catch up because the other part of the team has been advanced. So this support by the success support team is given mainly in language proficiency and academic skills. It helps the students and back up the students with strategies and tools to understand and work better within the core modules. Diverse learning styles and preferences. So we have learning styles and preferences diverse everywhere. They are different. Any student is different. It's like a personal print that shows a cultural background, a preparedness, an experience, life experience, career experience, perspective to life, deep thinking, not deep thinking. People require, how to say, more work with visual stuff like videos, like PowerPoints. Others need to move around. So all the famous, what we call auditory, kinesthetic, and audiovisual, so many techniques, but also we have another session that we're going to present about learning styles that come from the psychological analysis of the students. So we have introverted learners who prefer to learn by themselves in a separate situation, so they are not eager to participate in the group activities. So what can we do to accommodate their learning style and make them feel comfortable? And at the same time, how can we challenge these fossilized difficulties, let's say, to promote more interactive style of learning? By the way, we consider that learning styles at a certain level mature and become altogether possible for a specialized or an expert, while learners can be particularly different in that. So what we have to do really is we have to vary activities in one session and over the week of learning, use the maximum of learning approaches. So individual work, pair work, group work, classroom debates, showing videos, commenting on them, writing, speaking, listening, and different skills at the same time to vary the sessions and make it more motivating and mainly meeting these needs of the students. So this is the point, motivating and aspiration. So this level seems sometimes for some lecturers, they are not motivated. The truth is they are highly motivated to change their lives, to have a certificate, to have an experience, to earn more money in the future. So it's really up to you as lecturer to motivate them by using career-led teaching, research-informed teaching, widen the horizon of the teaching, and also and mainly link the teaching, the classroom environment to reality by using examples from industries, local industries, national, international, whatever necessary to make it look real and beyond the confines of the classroom. This will motivate the students, and even those who came with different reasons, they might be motivated if we talk about the career prospect, what they can gain at the end of this experience and journey. So resilience and determination, as you can see, it's one of the foundation year students. So resilience, what's resilience? So when a student is faced by obstacles and doesn't show any willingness to persevere and adapt, that is a lack of resilience and determination. And people can be tired because we know sometimes they have children, they work, they are busy, sometimes they struggle, and the first experience, the first impact with their degree or certificate is the foundation year. So also we need to encourage them with different techniques. Many lecturers said last time, for example, I want my session to be funny, because teaching while giving some fun within the session, interaction, learning becomes very straightforward. The students don't feel the heaviness of the atmosphere, but they will be happy to how to say, interact. They see it as a growth experience. So it's also using, to my understanding, also using some ideas about future career prospects is crucial today for the students to understand where all this is leading and link it to a reality. So these are things that can help with the resilience and determination, learning that step by step things will improve and nothing can improve in a day. So this is to conclude. So it's important for us, lecturers and educational institutions, to recognize and appreciate diversity and the high diverse background of foundation years, exceptionally needy for support, for motivation, for building up the culture of learning again for someone who had a gap. So we need also to tailor this support, fostering and foster an inclusive learning environment. Everyone should be included. Examples should be very simple to include everyone. And those who are advanced are going to be motivated by the group work where they lead other colleagues towards understanding by giving examples, maybe because they have a better career ideas or knowledge, so they can share them in these group activities and create the environment to foster success. So we have some activities, we have some profiles of students. Normally, of course, I'll share with you this PowerPoint and you'll have these profiles just by clicking and analyze them together in a discussion, a group discussion together, and say what these students have in common. Sorry for that. Yeah, so we'll move on with the next one. So after we see these profiles, we have discussions together. Then we have more supportive resources in the presentation. We have, first of all, a video featuring interviews or testimonials from foundation year students discussing what happened in their academic journey and how foundation year was key to their academic career. So there is a podcast also and few articles. They are easy to access here just by clicking. So when considering, as we said from the start, we have a little bit to focus on assessment and feedback. The point is for assessment to be easily accessed by this level of students. I mean, these students of level 3 and foundation year. Let's first of all set the scene. There is a scenario. So what is happening is we know more or less what we are expecting. So we have a group of 20, for example. So let's say we have 20 students and they have all these diversity and needs, and these require and preparedness. So these require a perspective in a classroom, a planning, a mapping, I call it personally. What to do to motivate if you see there is a lack of motivation, but motivating is a daily endeavor in each activity, and also showing yourself the interest in the level. So one of the things that we have to think first when we start teaching this level, mainly for you as starting lecturers, associate lecturers, think please in terms of clarity. Okay, clarity now, the point, clarity of learning outcomes, for example, in this slide. So breaking down complex concepts. Okay, into manageable learning goals that students can understand and work towards, and keep reminding them within the lesson, why are we doing this? Promote reflective thinking of the learner so that they master their own learning process, their learning journey. So asking questions all the time, where is the outcome? In the outcomes, where can we fit in this activity? Can you remind me of the objectives the objective we're targeting by this part of the lesson or the slide or the activity? So keeping going back to the outcomes, learning outcomes from the module guides, we have them, is essential to help them knowing and relating everything together, having perspective. Otherwise, the learning will reach them as bits of information, knowledge, and activities without a core to link them to. So, learning outcomes are essential. And I know sometimes they don't pay attention in the start, and this is why we say we need to all the time keep reminding the students of these learning outcomes in the lesson. So accessible assessment format. So we need to have the format clear, accommodates diverse learning styles and needs of the students. Accessible assessment formats by modeling during the teaching sessions, the exam, so it doesn't come as a surprise that they are not prepared. As we said, foundation year need a lot of support, need a lot of modeling, need a lot of clarity. So to model the assessment by modeling the assessment during the teaching sessions, you prepare them for the summative assessment, and they learn the ways, because as we said, some of the learners have never used, for example, a PowerPoint, or created a poster, or written something in English like a report and a formal type of writing in English. So it's important to know the strategies, the culture, the technique of writing, and the skills, and develop them by using these accessible formats, and inject them in the teaching. So they know what is expected from them at the end, and they get ready step by step. And this is how scaffolding also comes back to the shore. So, so breaking down large assignments into smaller, manageable tasks is crucial for foundation year. It makes it more manageable for them. They get really to know the instructions, to know how to progress and how to do it. So scaffolding is also very important. Mainly by scaffolding, you give examples by from your own perspective. So sometimes you show it in the class how to do, how to click on this and open VLE, and together do some activities that encourage the students to use VLE, which is Moodle, and can count as a formative assessment too, to which we can respond with feedback, the clarity of the feedback, and the direction of the feedback towards constructive way of thinking. So the feedback, it's not a criticism, mainly, I mean, at any level, it is a feedback to build on the skills and improve them. And this is crucial at this level. Inclusive assessment practice. So we try to design the tasks to accommodate students from diverse backgrounds. Um, varying levels of academic preparedness. We avoid complication at this level. Even conducting research and data collection um, can be done easily within the institution, for example, and by preparing the questions together in groups and discussing them in a class, it's going to help everyone getting a better results and better understanding by comparing with the classmates and their peers. There is a possibility to also understand things better, check on the instructions. So every time, for example, you give an instruction, ask back, what am I asking you to do? So you check on understanding real world relevance. It's never enough to emphasize the real world relevance by engaging the students into real world scenarios, examples from industries, case studies, problem solving scenarios, projects to demonstrate the practicality and the possibility of using what they are studying in real life is also going to help them engage in the assessment and the submissions. Feedback and feed forward. All of you have been explaining during Easter CPD, the feedback and the feed forward and their implications. So the feedback is about, can be about strengths, areas of improvement and how they can progress in their academic journey. So this is the feed forward. It's about the future. It's very important to say, well, the report presents this and this and this. You have covered, or the report or the writing or the poster has covered this learning outcome in and in. So you give them really a good feedback about the effort they have put in. And then areas of improvement. This talks about the future, what we can improve, what they can improve in their performance to get better results and also to master the skills. So we have covered also assessment authenticity. Uh, so ensure that assessment tasks are authentic and meaningful, reflecting the real world context. The students also feel that authentic assessments are conducting to true experience and life experience rather than theories. But of course, if it is about a theory, by all means, we need also to work in theory. Flexibility and adaptability. We are here in ESL adapting and we are being very flexible with what our partners ask, our level, foundation level students need to accommodate their diverse needs and circumstances. We offer extensions. We consider also arrangements, mainly if students also are facing personal challenges or difficulties. We give all support with all the means we have in our institution. Okay, so at this point, we have some activities here. Okay, so assessment design for foundation year students. So you have a link. So I can advise you to use this link and see the content to explore alternative assessment formats such as project-based assessments and portfolios, etc. So another activity here is sample assessment. So we have a sample assessment and we are going to use a critique to the assessment based on their alignment with students' development needs, inclusivity and engagement potential. Redesign these assessments. So we'll give in this activity the possibility for you as lecturers to redesign these assessments to address the identified shortcomings and enhance their effectiveness in promoting student learning and success. So we have more resources here, more supportive resources, video article and podcast. Here it's about student engagement and success in assessment tasks. So we're going to cover this again, and this is mainly about what to do, exactly what is needed. First of all, what is needed is providing clear expectations. So the students have to know from the start of the module teaching that what is expected from them in the assessment, what they are building for, what they are doing to reach at the end the good results and achieve their targets. Um, Offer choice and flexibility in the assessment. So flexibility can be in selecting different assessment topics, formats, or methodologies to meet the needs of the students. Um, I know that we have sometimes things predefined by agreement with the partnership, but I I know by experience that the partners are considering differences and are highly flexible. So to meet also the need of authenticity, we need to design assessments that are related or real, reflect the real world context, challenges and complications. This can be, of course, in asking for scenarios, analyzing case studies, or um, preparing and presenting PowerPoints or posters. So the content also includes a real life experience in mainly in career and industry. So promote active learning. So learning should be active, where the students are learning something to practice it, to give it back, either by discussing or groups or doing other activities. Provide timely and constructive feedback. This is essential because constructive feedback is promoting success for the students, showing them, guiding them towards the best ways of performing. We encourage also self-reflection, self-assessment, and this is the, as we have demonstrated, are the highest level of skills in learning, learners' skills. So the first one, as we know in the famous Bloom's taxonomy, is memorization. The second one is understanding. The third one is application or retention. And then there is self-reflection and creativity at the top of the pyramid. This means that every time we remind the students that they are learning towards a target, and this target, they know step by step where they are today, what they are doing today to achieve these targets. They have to think and build this type of thinking, style of thinking in higher education to know what they are doing and to develop an autonomous way of learning. So reactive activities, journals, learning logs, reflection, prompts, portfolio assessments, all these are self-regulatory skills and help the students to think about what they are doing. Foster a supportive learning environment, supportive, creating ways and time, given time and energy to move around, to all the time prepare to give advice, to guide, to support the students in their understanding, no matter what the question is. No question is a stupid question. All questions lead to help the students and lead us to understand what the students need and support them accordingly. Celebrate achievements, recognizing what the students are doing. It's a human being, it's a need, but at this level, because it's the first, as we said, it's the first impact, the first contact with higher education for many of foundation year levels. They need this how to say, encouragement, recognizing, celebrating their efforts, celebrating whatever they do to engage and learn. Okay. So these are some scenarios of role playing that you can use now and practice using the PowerPoint, case studies. So then we have the part of feedback here. What's the purpose of feedback? We need to understand why are we giving feedback. It's not to criticize students' effort. It's a constructive way to learn them and them to learn to encourage them to learn themselves their mistakes. So our mindset while giving the feedback should be based on confidence building. We try by all means not to put them down because the mistake is grave or whatever they did. Our feedback is meant to encourage them, to help them, to push them to improve. So it should be very tailored linguistically in a way to be supportive rather than negative. Achievement gives students an idea of how well they have achieved, because we know they come from different backgrounds, they have difficulties, daily struggles, so we celebrate what they are doing. And then performance improvement. So performance improvement feedback can be used to provide individuals with information on how performance improvement can be implemented and improvement plans are produced. Um, so more reasons to give feedback. Feedback is essential every day in any activity is an occasion to give some feedback, to identify, to help the students and identify also their strengths and weaknesses, but we also identify their strengths and weaknesses to enable us to create better material, tailor the material according to these needs, and then correction to correct the errors. So normally the best way that I know about correcting errors is not to be direct in correcting, because sometimes it puts them down. So some lecturers would prefer to put the corrections and the errors on a separate PowerPoint. They start the session with a PowerPoint when they correct, where they correct all the mistakes and errors without a personal contact, so without naming the students, of course. And in this way, it's a collective correction. Even those who know it can be more aware of it and conscious about it. And then we have clarification and accountability, where feedback is used to demonstrate clarity, how a specific grade was reached, accountability. So they are enough reasons to think about feedback, confidence building, think about them building their own confidence in this new approach to life or to learning, which is a higher education. Achievement, celebrate achievement. Whatever they have done is great. is already great, but we need also to give advice and work on performance improvement, identify strengths and weaknesses, correction. If there is a misunderstanding, for example, of how to use AI in assessments, clarification about the formats of assessments, and any other aspect of the assessment, students experience intellectual achievement. So all these elements are important for the feedback. So these are activities I have prepared also to practice. So if you want, please stop the video, use these activities, and then come back to carry on. Okay. Now think about using some sentence headers. So have you considered I was wondering about the way you have presented this. It could be more effective if we use also this strategy. Would it be useful to consider this aspect of learning or the method? Maybe next time you could also include this and this. Another way to say this or to demonstrate this is to do this and this. So it's more suggestive, it's more welcoming, more opening, and it's very nice for the students. Some other words to use. So bear with me, we are at the end of it. As you can see, modal verbs, so might, could, would, compared to should, shouldn't, must, mustn't. So it's better to use. We could consider, it would be great if we do this and this. Softness, they are all also softness like, maybe, perhaps, probably. So next time you maybe you may consider this and this. Perhaps it's the best way to, or a better way, or another way, alternative way to. Probably the point could be clearer if we consider this and this. The focus on next time is the future is very, very important, because if we are trapped in the presentation itself or the report itself, it's going to generate a feeling of negativity. But we have this opportunity to build up a good relationship, a constructive relationship, a communication with the student. You might really discover in the feedback when they receive it and they come back to you what they really feel or need, and you can direct them and improve them. What else? Using a subject other than you. So instead of saying you, the report might be, the presentation could be. So these are possibilities, just suggestions to improve our language of the feedback. Then we have these questions to consider at the end. So, what will you do differently now after this session? What were the challenges that you identified at the beginning? Have you any thoughts about what you might do differently? So these are questions we can ask the students to consider in a feedback. What will you do also differently after this session? So yeah, thank you for today. I'd like to give more references, more support, questions, and more supportive resources like podcast, article, and video. I try to vary, as you can see, the maximum, so I accommodate your tastes and needs in acquiring knowledge. So thank you very much. I want to say that listening to me till the end was great and great effort. I hope you have learned something from this today. And that's it. See you next time with another training.